Back in the locker room, Tush and Wolf with our special guest, Jeff Hartings. And by the way, this segment is brought to you by Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge.
Boy, you are hotter than
I'm telling you, like a $2 pistol.
Oh, yeah.
So we're talking to Jeff Hartings.
He's been known to botch that,
Retired from the Steelers, went out to Salt Lake City, Utah, planted a church, and then after a summer of fun and having Ed Glover, executive director, who we had last week, and Ed's a great man of God and doing a terrific work. You guys are back here and back involved. What's going to be now your responsibility with Athletes for Kids with Urban Impact?
Well, like I said, it'll work itself out. But I'm going to start out with the Play Ball for Kids program, which is our fundraising program, kind of working with the Steeler players, the companies, getting what we want to do is just get the companies in this city. And right now we have 25 already. Small businesses mostly. That provide the money, either $5,000 or $2,500, depending on what level they want to go, and in return they get tickets from the players themselves. The Steeler players last year would volunteer tickets. Those 18 guys, I'd go to them and get tickets from those 18 players to give to our sponsors, and then in November or December we'll have a dinner to really honor the players and honor the sponsors, and some of the kids come. And one year we had the actual choir from Urban Impact.
Yeah, they're great.
Tammy Glover
they're great. They are
with.
great choir.
They came in, and because what we really want to do is my heart and desire always was to tell Ed, I want the players and I want the sponsors to see what they're sponsoring, because I always wanted players and sponsors that cared, because I knew for me, the first time I went over there, I loved it. But the more and more I got to know them, the more and more ambitious and motivated I got to help them out, and motivated I got to raise money. For example, I just asked Ed last year, how much more money would it take? 100 kids last year were on the waiting list to do their summer program, over 6 or 8 week program to catch them up from the grade that they were in, to get them started for the next grade. And he might say $30,000, and that would just motivate me to get more players, more sponsors. And that's just what I want to continue to do with Danny Kreider, and after Danny Kreider, whoever it's going to be, because in this town, you guys know, and I found out, when you're a Pittsburgh Steeler, you can really use that to make things happen in this town in a lot of different ways. And obviously one is winning games. That you love to win games for the fan, win a Super Bowl, and we saw a huge parade. But to also be able to help some of the kids that are literally living right over there by the stadium, and not
same neighborhood,
no doubt about it. And they didn't grow, or they're growing up in much different situation than I have, and much different than most people in Pittsburgh. So that's what we're hoping.
All right, what's the website for?
It's playballforkids.org.
Okay, now you got the number.
The phone number.
Come on, you got it stuck on the chair. Give it up. All right, you got it.
I'm only 34 though.
Yeah,
I know you're nearing 50, so I can remember.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
So
you can remember it. But the good lady Rebecca wrote it down, and I saw you stick it on
so that I could.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, they'd be ringing Ed's phone, because I could get Ed's phone number. That might be a good idea.
Yeah, right.
He needs more phone calls,
I'm
sure.
I'm sure he does.
But no, the phone number is 412.
Don't freeze up now.
3811. I'm figuring out which camera to look at. None of them are lit up.
Yeah, there you go.
So you're back in town, and that's got to be very, very cool. You were talking about you want the sponsors and the Steelers to see what their money's doing, and I think I think that, and I've learned this. Wolf and I are really involved down at Light of Life, also on the north side, just a block away from Ed's offices. But when people go down and see what's going on, then they want to get involved. I mean, that's when people. That's when your heart breaks. And whether it's Urban Impact or another ministry that is ministering to the poor, and I love Ed's philosophy: one person, one family, one block at a time. And when you see it and you can touch it, and then you see, wow, that's exactly. There's a real tangible way to see what's going on with your donations.
Yeah, there definitely is, and that's always been my philosophy. Number one, to create a legacy, because without you know, we raised $125,000 last year, which is, like I said, putting a lot of kids in a lot of programs, keeping them off the streets, and it's been, you know, if you pay attention to the news, probably well publicized over the summer. It's not been a good summer for the kids over there with you know, basically gang violence over there. So the more that we can keep them off the streets, and most importantly, save them for Jesus Christ, because that's ultimately the most important thing, and that's what Ed's, you know, greatest, you know, desire is, no doubt. And, you know, when I asked him about one of the kids that had just been shot just right on the street, you know, that's the first thing he said was that, you know, the difference is that he was saved. And you know, that's what makes all of this work worth it. And Ed will tell you, without money and time and prayer, you know, nothing's going to happen. So you know, we do need the money, and we need the prayers, and we need the workers. Yeah.
I think the personal involvement of the players. You know, what you hit on was great. The thing about it is, it's so easy to throw money at something. It's another to go down and actually get muddy.
Well, you'd think it is easy, but, you know, I know for myself, and in a position to donate to a lot of different things. I donate where I'm putting my time in, and like you said, where you go down to Light of Life, you see what's happening down there, and that's where God really moves you. You know, that's where, you know, I give a lot of my money, and, you know, now I'm going to be giving a lot of my time to Urban Impact. And you know, the fortunate thing when you play in the NFL today, if you take care of your money, you know, when you retire, you can do something like this. And that's what's exciting for me, is to be in a position. I feel like God's really blessed me to be in this position, to retire and do anything that I want. And you know, I could go out and, you know, try to make more money, but, you know, that's not what I'm interested in. You know, I feel like God saved me for a purpose greater than that, and He's revealed it to be Urban Impact. And who knows what it would have been. 4 years ago, I thought it was something different. Now it's, you know, become clear that it's with Urban Impact, and I'm excited to go over there and like I said, help, you know, raise money, but also be able to give my time. You know, last year it was mostly just raise money.
So you're going to be a little bit more than just director of development now.
He hasn't given me a title yet.
Yeah. No title yet.
No title. I'm just a volunteer. There's my title.
Yeah.
I guess
volunteer.
I gave myself
full-time volunteer.
Full-time
I
volunteer.
like
well, don't say full-time. You just make my wife tremble over there.
I'm sorry, Rebecca.
Part-time volunteer. How's that sound?
Now you've had a good. What's it feel like not being in training camp this year?
Well, you know, every time I see people ask me that a lot, and I sat down and watched the game last night with Sierra a little bit, my daughter, and I don't ever, you know, my knees. To be honest with you, still
they ache when you watch, don't they? Yes.
So anytime I look out there, I'm like, wow. You know, what I do is I realize how much emotional and mental and physical energy I put into to just being out there for the game. And, you know, last night watching those guys go against big number 77. Come on, Tunch.
Chris Jenkins.
Chris Jenkins. It was like, no, I don't.
Oh, would you just pull a blank, huh?
Yeah, he pulled a blank.
Yeah.
He's an easy guy to
let
forget
me
about.
ask you something. Think about this now. Between the three of us, with all the headbutts we've done, how many points do you think off our SATs we've dropped?
13 for you, or 12,
Huh?
12, 13?
11 for me.
11, and you 12, and I won 14. So that's
think how much
20.
we've been dumbed down over these last years.
I've
It's
been
amazing.
dumbed down for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
just
my
proved
wife.
it.
I wish she would understand when I forget things. I always tell her, have some
That's
mercy
my
on me.
excuse. I show up at home. I go, honey, why? And she's like, you forgot that. And I go, you know how
Telling
many
you guys
concussions
things,
I've
I'm
had?
forgetting what I'm talking about. in the middle of it.
37 years between the three of us. Do you miss it?
I definitely miss game day. You know, I don't miss practices at all. But you know, it's because I at least personally, and I think you guys too, because I know your stories. You played so many years in you know, somewhat discomfort.
I'm done.
Yeah, you know, it's
The
like,
game gets beat
you know,
out of you.
I'll never forget. Tunch remembers 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and 1 year ago. Asking Tunch, when's it time to retire? And he was like, make him rip the shirt off your back. And I was like, you know.
Let them punch you out the door.
It got out of me one way or another, and I feel very fortunate to be able to retire, and I think you guys do too. when you want into it,
Right.
pretty much.
Right.
You see so many friends. And
You know what
maybe
they
you
say?
wanna-
The secret to it is to make it look when they're going to run you out of town, to make it look like you're leading the parade.
That's right.
Jeff, thanks for joining us. Welcome back into town, and I think it is so cool that that you were listening to God's call to be involved in Urban
Tremendous.
Impact, and we
Yeah.
look forward to seeing what great things the Lord is going to do there through you, and we're excited. We'll get you on again. Thanks for joining us. I know you got to go out to dinner with your lovely bride Rebecca, and we thank you.
Oh,
for
sure. You
sharing
don't want to
time
worry
with us.
about food. Don't want
Hi.
to eat big. Going to go out to dinner.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, Tony DeFazio, the Pittsburgh Sports Report, right here in the locker room with Touch of Wolf.